This
like function.
conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so first one is abbreviation of SAP, like nothing but a full form of SAP: systems, applications, and product in data processing. It's nothing but the full form of SAP. This is I have mentioned here. The next one is SAP was founded in 1972 with its headquarters in Waldorf, Germany. So this is the
Yes.
technology has been founded by the Germany people. Okay, in 1972, five IBM people has been started this technology. Okay,
Okay.
and the next one is what kind of software is SAP? SAP is an ERP software. So again, the abbreviation of ERP is Enterprise Resource Planning. Okay.
Yes.
Next,
Yeah.
why SAP ERP? In the interview, they may ask you that why you particularly. We may have other ERPs also is there in the market, but still, why this SAP? So here I have added some of the few things that which are the benefits of SAP ERP. The first one is integration of business process, standardization of systems across locations for overall control of organizations, better controlling of different business process, better reporting system, best utilization of resources, therefore man, material, and missions. It's nothing but the SAP has been everywhere. You can say that we have this in other countries also they are using SAP. This is the best way that if you are shift to the other states or other countries also you can able to use SAP. The same time we have the best opportunities also are there in SAP. Okay. Here I have mentioned that other ERPs in the market, we call as other ERP vendors or ERP software, ERP products. We call it the different names. So I have mentioned some of the names here, like PeopleSoft, Ramco, BAN. Okay, here we need to remember a 3 to 4 names. Why? Because while in an interview they may ask you that what are the other ERPs in the market. So you must be thorough with these names also. Okay, so here you can see that again SAP is in a first place. You can see that it has been occupied the above 80% of the market. Like in the present date, you can see that SAP is in the 80.06 percentage it has been occupied. Okay, in the interview they may ask you, you can answer that SAP has been occupied the above 80% of the market. Okay, I'm not talking about India. I'm telling you about overall world. Compared to overall world, SAP is in the above 80 percentage. Right? Can you go for the next? So here, what is enterprise resource planning? In a short way, I have mentioned one small paragraph here. So ERP is the process used by companies to integrate almost all the aspects of and factors of a company from HR to finance. Like it's played a major role in a business that in a great role of a industry level as well as in a small business. It's nothing but the SAP is flexible to use any type of business, like for the small business people at the same time for the large organizations also the SAP is suitable for any type of business, right? Next here I have mentioned one of the thing is that, so for example imagine that if you're working in any SAP team under one team, so here what level of people will be there in a team? So for example imagine that you're working in under one project. So in the least level associate consultant means the person who was like in a fresher, they don't have in depth of knowledge. They know the SAP. Okay, we call as an associate consultant, and then consultant. After that, senior consultant, and then team lead, and then project manager, and then SAP project delivery head. So depends on your experience, the levels will be increased here. Okay. So at the right side of my screen, you can see that we have a top level, medium level, low level management. So in every organization, we can see that these levels are common, like junior accountant, senior accountant, manager, senior manager, AGM, GM. Yes or no? So even though in a top
Yes.
level also we can see
Hmm.
that same POD. So these people are quite common in every organization. We call as a core team members, right? And the next one is, so here organization structure. This one is organization structure. So in every company you can see that we have a client. Without client we cannot run the business, right? So what is
Yes.
client? Is there any idea about what is client? In a simple way, it's nothing but the person who asks you to fulfill his requirement.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
For example, imagine that you are doing some business like you're manufacturing some laptops or something how. So if any company
Hmm.
people will approach to you and they ask you that with some configuration they need 1 lakh laptops or 100 laptops, so they approach to you directly. It's nothing but the client is asking you to fulfill his requirement, right?
Okay.
And the next one
Yes.
is company code. Company code is nothing but it is a unique ID. For example, you for example, imagine that you people started your own business, and on the time, what happened? We need to register with the government, right? So then the government will give one ID to you. That is a unique ID for every company. So whatever the transactions that you're running in a company, it should be updated by the company code. In a real time, this company code will be created by the finance department. But here I will show you how to do. It's very simple. Okay. So this company code is nothing but whether whatever the transaction is running in a company, it should be a go through by the legal way only. Okay. At the same time, the company will get the update that whether we are in a profit way or in a loss way. Okay. Okay. And the next one
Hmm.
is plant. Plant is nothing but a production area. We call it as a manufacturing area, right? And next one is storage location. Storage location is nothing but a part of a plant. It's subdivision of a plant. Okay. Here where we used to store the raw materials, semi-finished materials, right? So let's imagine that it's a plant is a 5 stairs of building, and each floor you're storing a different material. For example, in the first floor you're storing a raw material. Raw material. What is the raw material for laptop? What are the raw materials for laptop? Like motherboard, chips, keyboard, right? These are the raw materials. So we are storing raw material into one storage. And in the second floor, you are storing a different material, like semi-finished material. And a third floor, you are storing a totally it's a production area. In the fourth floor, you are just storing a finished item. In the fifth floor, you are storing the packaging items, like that. Okay? Storage location is nothing but a part of a plant. And next one is purchasing organization. What is purchasing organization here is that it's nothing but so it's totally take care of the material. For example, here this is a plant, right? So whatever the material is coming to your plant and how much material has gone to the production and how much gone to the quality inspection, everything. What is going on with the material? It's everything will be taken care by the purchasing organization. It's totally take the responsibility of a material, right? And the next one is purchasing group. What is purchasing group here is that, so I have told you that we have started as some business of laptop business. So here we used to buy different material with the different vendors, right? So you have a motherboard, keyboard, chips, we have a different materials. So here we won't buy all this material with a single vendor, right? We have a different vendors in the market. Somehow one vendor is supplying only motherboards, other vendor is supplying only keyboards. So here we have a different vendors in the market, so by that we just divide the groups, right? You catch my point?
Yes.
Right. And the next one is end-to-end procurement cycle. If you guys understand this procurement cycle, so you'll easily understand what SAP MM scenario goes through with. Okay, just do concentrate on this one concept. So end-to-end procurement cycle. End-to-end procurement cycle is nothing but, for example, imagine that, let me take the example of a normal example. So I think you guys are very familiar with online shopping, right?
Yes.
Online
Yes.
shopping.
Yes.
Just imagine that. So for example, you want to buy a specific color t-shirt. That is your
Hmm.
requirement.
Hmm.
So you have, for
Hmm.
example, you want to buy a blue color t-shirt. That is your requirement. So after that,
Hmm.
source of determination. Source of determination means you just check with the people that a particular color t-shirt, whether any in the market any people are supplying or any for example online shopping. Suppose we used to online shopping, right? So in online shopping we just check with the different vendors, like we have Amazon, Flipkart,
Hmm.
what are the others?
Mintra.
Mintra,
Mintra.
right? We have the
Yeah.
different sources here. That is a source of determination. That means from how many ways we can able to get this product. And the next one is vendor selection. Vendor selection means, for example, as I told you that we have a three vendors. Imagine that these three are the vendors. From among three these vendors, we need to select one vendor.
Yeah.
Okay, that means who are going to supply a material on time, and we need to check with the discounts also,
Quality.
quality and reviews. We check
Hmm.
the reviews also, right? So these all things will be
Yes.
filtered out, and we'll select only one vendor,
Hmm.
right? and that is the vendor selection. And later, PO means purchase order. Nothing but we are placing the order here. So whatever the color requirement you have, you just get from the you have find out that in Amazon, and here you are placing the order. Okay, purchase order. And later, order monitoring. Nothing but we
Order
used to
monitoring.
check that whether how much time it's need to reach to your home, right? That is the order
Hmm.
monitoring. And then goods receipt. Goods receipt
Delivery
means
time.
finally, yes, finally the vendor has taken the product to your particular home for your address,
Huh.
right? So with that thing, he will ask you that in case if you have not, for example, whatever the material you have ordered, I think you can see that in the receipt, whatever the receipt you were scanning there. So there also it mentioned that whatever the material you have ordered from, right? And you get the
Yeah,
material
status and
number.
scan.
Yes. And here you can
Hmm.
see that invoice verification. Invoice verification means you're just checking that whether you have done the payment or not. In case
Yes.
if you have not done the payment, he asks you to do the payment, right? That is
Yes.
the eighth. So in the real time, what
Hmm.
happened? This payment is totally taken care with the finance department. We just forward the document number to the finance department. Okay, this is the
Okay.
normal shopping, the normal procurement that we can see that. But let's come to the for organization level how we are going to do. So first one
Hmm.
is requirement determination. Requirement determination in the sense, imagine that you both are doing manufacturing business in a market, and some client has came to you and he asked you to manufacture 100 laptops. Nothing but he have given the order to you, 100 laptop order. So here for the first, what is the first step? If anybody has given the order to you, so what you will check? We will
Raw
check that
material.
exactly. We check that whether we may have the raw material or not in the store. So in case you don't have a raw material, we just list out that whatever the raw materials are missing. We're just listing out that. So for example, imagine that we don't have a motherboards. We need 100 motherboards. So we're just listing out
Hmm.
everything. So just go through with the only one example here. So imagine that we have all raw materials in our plant, just missing of motherboards. So we need 100 motherboards here. That is our requirement. So source of determination means we are just checking that in the market, how many vendors are there, those who are supplying the material to you.
Motherboards. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So you're just
Hmm.
finding out that how many vendors are there in the market. And then later we come to know that we have a three vendors in the market, those who are supplying the motherboard with a good quality. So then we
Yeah.
select, we ask here what happened. Generally in online shopping, we check the price. Here we need to ask the quotation to the vendors.
Hmm.
Okay, it depends on the quotation. We will select the vendor. So any one vendor has been given the reasonable price, then we select that vendor and then we place the order here. In the first step, we place the order.
Order. Hmm.
Okay, and then we're just monitoring that how long period it takes time to reach your plant. And then finally, the vendor has supplied the material to your plant, a particular plant. Okay, that is goods receipt. And then in case what happened in generally in online shopping, if you don't like the product or if in case the quality is poor, we try to return the material, right?
Yes.
So here also a same issue. In case the quality is not good, it is a poor quality. So on the time what happened, we try to return the material to the vendor. So here from here to vendor. Okay. So in case everything
Hmm.
is fine, then we go for the invoice verification. And after the invoice verification is nothing but whatever the material you have placed the order in a PO. So same information will be updated in a invoice also. And later the payment. This payment department is totally take care by the finance department. We just forward these details to the FI people.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Yeah.
Okay. And next one is here what happened in companies we have a special stocks. What are the special stock? Why we are using the word special here is that so whatever the material in a company premises, for example, let me take example here. So imagine that you both people are doing the same business in a market. So for example, here I just forget the name. Just forget your name. Can you please remind your names? Sirisha.
I'm Suvarshla and yeah.
Sirisha.
I'm
Suvarchala.
Suresh.
So imagine that Suvarchala has a business. Sirish also saying doing the same business. So imagine that in a Sirisha's plant, the material is full. There is no place to put the material, whatever he has taken from the vendor. There's no place in her plant. So what she has done is that She taken the help of Suvarchala. Okay, so it's nothing but the material, whatever the Sirisha's material is kept in Suvarchala plant, it's not Suvarchala's, right? It's totally
Yes.
belongs to Sirisha. That means
Hmm.
whatever the material has been kept in your plant, that is not yours. That means it is in your company premises. Okay, but that material is not belongs to your company,
Okay.
right? So in case what happened in Swarchala's plant, some plant, whatever the material he was doing manufacturing, it has get the shortage. She don't have a material in her plant. So what she will done is that, so whatever the material this Sirisha has been kept in a Swarchala's plant, so she, with the permission of Sirisha, you will utilize that material. Even though that material is not yours, it is but still is in your company premises, but you are taking the material with the Sirisha's permission and you are utilizing that material to your production. That is we called as a vendor consignment. You got my
Okay.
point here?
Yeah.
Special stocks are nothing but whatever the materials in our company premises, it's not belongs to company, but still it is in our premises.
Okay.
Right? That is a vendor consignment. Even though we have a other example also here is that, not example, other like this is also special stock. For example, subcontracting. Subcontracting is also a special stock. Like how, in the sense, so for example, imagine that we have a two vendors or two companies in a market, so A and B.
Hmm.
For example, the A, whatever the A manufacturing in a company, so in case they don't have a missionary or they don't have a time to complete the project within the time, so even though they have all the raw material in their plant, but they don't have a missionary, but the missionary has been damaged or something has been happened, so they want to take the help of B. That means they just transport all the raw materials to plant B, company B. Is it clear?
Yes.
That means the company B, whatever the material has been contained, it's not belongs to company B, right? It's totally belongs
Yeah.
to company A. But still it
Company
is
A.
in a company.
Hmm.
Yes. But still it is in a company premises, right?
Hmm.
So why they are transfer this material from A to B is that for the sake of subcontracting. That means this B, what they will do is that they totally manufacture all the raw materials into finished material and they return the material to company A. So whenever this material come to company B, that means it is in a company pre-premises but not belongs to company B. Is it clear?
Hmm.
Can I repeat again?
No, no, it's clear.
Clear? Right. And the next one is stock transport order. Stock transport order is nothing but, for example, for example, this is also A and B. Imagine this is a company, this is company B. So here, what happened? You get the order of in a company B. You get the order in a company B, but here they don't have a raw material. So what they will do, whatever the material they have a requirement, it's in a plant A or a company A. So here what we do is that we just supply this material from this plant to this plant, just transferring, transport. Okay, this is also called as a special stock. Why? Because this material is not belongs to company B, but still it is taking the material from plant company A. You got my point? Nothing but they are just transporting the material from one plant to another plant.
Okay.
Just read out this one. Stock transport order means just transferring material from one plant to another plant. It is called as a STO. This is also a special stock, right?
Hmm.
Is it clear? Can I move for the next?
Yes.
Okay. So here you can see that we have a SAP R3 application. So presently we are going through with the R3 application. Previously we have R2 application. So with the picture view, I will explain to you first of all. So you can see that three-tier client. We call as a R3 as a three-tier client also. So how it runs and what data is going to be stored where, just look out that. So for example, imagine that you have let's take example as a bank example here. So it will be a little bit easy to you. So imagine that we have one bank, it's a XYZ bank, imagine XYZ. And here we have a different branches. Wherever you can see the application server, imagine that we have a 4 servers in a 4 branches, right? So user piece is that, imagine that they are the employees, they are using the server. So whenever the employees are using any transaction, they are doing any transaction here, they go through with the application server. They will run here, but the data will be stored in a database. They go through with this application server. The transaction will run here, but the data will be stored in a database server. You catch my point?
Yeah.
ఇక్కడ డేటా రన్ అవుతుంది కానీ ఇక్కడ స్టోర్ కావట్లా, ఇక్కడ స్టోర్ అవుతుంది.
Okay.
So even though here also, when how many branches are there, it's not a mandatory. The servers are used for to run the transaction. The data will be stored in the database only.
Hmm.
Okay. This is totally take care by the basis department. We don't have any type of work here. Just for the scenario purpose to understand to you, just share this one. So before that, we have a two types. Two types means R2. In R2, we can see that database and application server both are into in one, right?
Hmm.
So with these, what happened if anyhow if any damage has been erased or any fire accident been raised. So in these situations, what happened? Data will be raised here. So it totally erasing or getting off spoil. So that is the reason they are maintaining the R3. With the R3, what happened? This database server will be maintained by somehow very in a head office only. So with the security, so they do maintain security also. So that is the reason the present all over they are using R3 only. Okay. In case the branch office or anyhow get any fire accident, anything is happen, so data will be safe side in a database server. Okay. So let
Hmm.
us see how it is interacting with the other modules. That is totally taken with the basis department. We don't have any work on there. So in SAP R3 application, it is a the structure has been designed that it will be interact with the automatically with the other models. How we are getting interaction here is that, so let us take me one example. So as I told you that previous example, somehow is if any client came to you and they ask you to fulfill any requirement of their, so before taking or confirming the order of the client or a project, what we do is that we just check out that whether we may have that much of budget or not. That is the first thing. We check with the finance people. Why? Because the client will not pay the full amount, right? They used to pay a initial amount or after later the off amount like that. So before that, we need to bear the amount. So that is the reason that we approach with the finance department that whether we are able to bear that much of amount or not, whether we may have that much of budget or not. And later, in case the finance department said no, that we don't have that much of budget, then we go for the controlling. So this controlling department, here you can see that each one is an individual module here. As you can see, the MM is a module here. So remaining are the functional modules. And CO means controlling. They try to control the unwanted expenses of the companies and they utilize that amount for the project. And next one is asset accounting. Asset accounting means, as I told you that in a special stock, some other client has been or some other vendor has been taken our plant for the lease purpose. They have kept in their material to our plant. No? On the time we give our plant for the lease purpose, right? From there also we will get some amount. And even though what are the assets? Any idea about assets? Assets of a company.
No.
Buildings, vehicles, furniture. Okay, these are all the assets of the company. So from there we get some amount and that will utilize for the this project purpose. And next PS project system. Totally they take care of the project and then workflow. Present what scenario of workflow is going on there. They will take care of the workflow. And then industry solution. What strategy that we are going to apply in this project. These industry solution people will take care of that one. And then HR. This HR is paid quite key role. Why? Because once you accept for the project, then we need to check that whether we may have that much of employees or not in the company. Why? Because if you don't have that much of employees, again it will be a problem, right? So that's the reason we will take the HR help also, that whether any employees are going to be either resignation or so present how many employees are there, just get the update here. If you need any new employees, we try to recruit the new employees here. And then plant maintenance people these people will take care of the plant, whether the plant is in a good condition or not. Why? Because once we start the project on the time, the plant should be a good condition, right? Otherwise the product will be get damaged. And next, quality management. These people will take care of the quality of the material. Whatever the material that we are manufacturing in a company, so these people will take care of the quality. And the next one is production planning. So in the production planning, people will totally take care of the material, how much is going to be left and how much we need the material. If any shortage of a material is there, they will update the MM department. Here, the totally production area. This take care of the production of the materials. So ఇక్కడ మెటీరియల్ కంప్లీట్ అయిపోవడానికి వస్తుంది అనుకోండి, వాళ్ళకి వీళ్ళే అప్డేట్ చేసేది పీపీ. సో what we do is that, as I told you, that procurement cycle ఇందా సైకిల్ చూపించా కదా, so we follow the cycle. So here we raise the PO and we take the material from the vendor to our plant. This all cycle will take care by the MM department. And then SD means sales and distribution. These people will take care by the sales of the company and how many sales has been done, right?
Okay.
And next we'll see the next one is, so here I have mentioned some of the things here that it is designed for all type of business. As I told you that SAP is suitable for any type of business. It's not a small, not a big, right? At the same time we
Hmm.
can do any type of business here. A business in a city. Next, multinational euro. Multinational euro means we can use the different currencies also here, and design enterprise data model and open system integrated solutions, comprehensive functionality, right? These are the features of the RC application. So can I go for the next?
Yes.
SAP classical implementation landscape model. What is the landscape model here is that, so imagine that as the client asks you for the uh, he taken some requirement of, as a previous example only. So he asked you for the 100 laptop manufacturing. So here what happened before that, the client asked you for the sample product. Yes or no? Direct గా project ఇవ్వడు కదా, sample product అడుగుతాడు కదా.
Yes.
Sample product అడిగినప్పుడు ఇక్కడ in here what happened in a development client here we try to develop a four or five sample products. So for example, he has some color requirement or some anyhow he has told you some specific requirements and specific color requirement. So with that requirement, here we try to manufacture 4 to 5 sample products, and later after that we ask the client to check the quality. In a test client, what happened? The client will come here, come to the company with the quality testing people, and here he will check the quality of the material. If the client is happy of any of 4 or 5, here we have manufactured 4 materials. Imagine that any 4. So among the 4, if you like any one, ఏదైనా ఒక్కటి నచ్చినా remaining we start the same of remaining 100 as a whatever the product the client has been said. Okay, the remaining will be in a productive client. What happened? Remaining will do the manufacturing of same of the sample one. In case the client has been not like the product whatever you have manufactured 4 or 5, whatever we have manufactured, so client ka 4 nachaledu, so again we need to go back to the development client. So until unless the client is said okay, then we need to go back and we need to do the changes, right? So once the client is okay,
Hmm.
said okay here, then only we do the remaining laptop or whatever the material we have taken the order. The remaining material will do the same as whatever the sample product he is said okay. Okay, till now okay.
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 So can I move for the next?
Yeah.
Yes.
So as here I have just mentioned some of the things here that, so for example, imagine that if you are joining as a junior SAP MM consultant, so whatever the tasks are there in a company here, I just added some of the things. So first one is organizing workshops and gathering customers' requirements, and scooping gap analysis, preparing blueprints. So this is as a junior person, these works are to be allocated to the junior people. At the same time, customizing and delivering the solutions, coordinating with the technical team for enhancement and testing the changes. As I told you that if the client asks you for the any changes, here we need to check out that whether the changes has been happening or not. We need to get the update also. So here blueprint means, so total the company, when the company had been started, what the company strategy that we are following, and how many clients are there, right? Nothing but totally our goodwill we need to show there, right? Is it clear? Can I
Yeah.
move for the next?
Yes.
Okay.
Next, SAP support consultant. Support consultant work have here, they're attending the issues with the end users and gathering requirements from the users, mapping requirements into SAP and changing the SAP configuration if required, and coordinating with developer for enhancement, helping end users with the user acceptance testing, and delivering SAP training to the end users and creating training document. Here, nothing but in a companies, what happened? We have a end users. End users means these people they don't have that much of knowledge. They used to run same 2 to 3 T codes they know, and they have work daily work on that one only. So here, for that end users, these support consultant people will give the training in a companies. Even they provide the training documents also to them. Okay, this is a support consultant work in a company. I have just shared the basic things here. Okay.
Okay.
And we'll see that how we are going to do these all things in a server. This is the SAP logon pad, as you can able to see this one, right?
Hmm.
Is it visible? So this is the SAP
No, no,
logon
it's
pad.
slightly. Okay.
Yes, yes. Who is that? This one.
No, no, nothing. Okay.
Okay. You just need to double tap over there, and then we need to log in with your ID and password. As you join to the classes, so you people also get the ID and password where we used to practice whatever the classes is going on there here in a practical way. So you have to practice there. So this is my server, right? So as I told you that client 800, this is in a client 800. I have for example, this is my ID, and here I need to update my password also. And once I update ID and password, just click on enter, right? So as I share you this ID and password, so you people also get this ID, password, and application. So just when we start the practical classes, and here this is the command box where we used to run the T codes. So here in SAP, whatever the concept I have told you in organization structure, any topic. So in a SAP server, what happened? We have a two ways to reach the particular topic. We have a T code and we have a path. What is the T code? What is a path? It is that T code is nothing but imagine that it is a lift. For example, you are staying in a 10th floor and in your building you have a, even though you have a steps and you have a lift. So we use the lift to go directly to the particular floor, right? And for the steps, we need to go step by step, step by step. So here we have a two ways. We have a T code and navigation. So what is it? For example, imagine that if you want to create a new plant. So here in this box, this is the command box. Here we used to run the OX10. OX10. Just focus on the screen. OX10 and click on enter, or you can click on this green tick also. So can you please read out what is this? Change view plants, right? So with the T code I have came here in the plant. So for example, imagine that what is the navigation. So let us go back here in the command box /n enter. It will take back to your screen. And now I was going to with the navigation, nothing but step by step. You will go to the same screen only. Whatever the you have run the T code and whatever the navigation that we are going to see, these both are to the going of the same screen. So let us go to the navigation way. SPRO in this command box, SPRO, enter. SAP reference IMD. So enterprise structure. Why? Because this plant is belongs to enterprise structure, right? And then definition. And here logistics general. And here you can see the define comma copy comma delete comma checkpoint. Okay, just execute this one and the first option define plant, right? Just read out this one, change view plants. సో టీ కోడ్ యూస్ చేసినా పాత్ యూస్ చేసినా మనం వచ్చేసి సేమ్ స్క్రీన్ కండి. మనకి రెండు పద్ధతులు ఉంటాయి ఇప్పుడు కూడా ఎస్ఏపీలో సర్వర్లో టీ కోడ్ పాత్ రెండు ఉంటుంది. ఏదర్ యూ కెన్ చూస్ టీ కోడ్ ఆర్ పాత్ నావిగేషన్, ఏది యూస్ చేసినా సేమ్ స్క్రీన్కే వస్తారు. Okay, so how we are going to
Okay.
create a new plant is that here we have a new entries. Okay, just double click over new entries, and here I need to update the plant code. For every plant we have a plant code. For example, imagine that my plant code is A100. Okay, that is my plant code. So we can give the plant this number up to 4 digits. It should be an alpha numeric combination, or you can give the total alphas or total numerics. ఎలా ఇచ్చినా తీసుకుంటుంది. ఓన్లీ ఆల్ఫాస్ ఇవ్వచ్చు, ఓన్లీ న్యూమరిక్ కూడా ఇవ్వచ్చు. ఓకే, ఇట్ షుడ్ బి ఇన్ 4 digits. And then the plant name. So for example, A100, this is my Hyderabad plant. Okay, and later, so here these options are non-editable. We can't able to edit here. Edit అవుతున్నాయా అవ్వట్లేదు కదా. So this address details should be fill up here. This is the address option. ఇక్కడ చూడండి. Just double tap over this option and title update as a company and name A100 Hyderabad plant, right? And then here this is a, whenever you can see this tick mark, this is a mandatory field. Without filling this field, we can't go to the next screen. ఇది fill చేయకుండా data save అవ్వదండి. So country. Just search the countries. How many countries are there in SAP? You can see that. We have a 255 entries here. That means మనకి ఇప్పుడు దాకా చూసిన దాంట్లో ఇందాక కూడా అన్నాను మనకి చాలా కంట్రీస్ ఆప్షన్స్ ఉన్నాయండి అని చెప్పేసి ఉన్నాయా. సో హియర్ ఇండియా, right? And then region, nothing but state, particular state. So for example, Telangana, right? 36. సెర్చ్ మీద క్లిక్ చేయడానికి మన లిస్ట్ అంతా ఓపెన్ అయిపోతుంది. ఓకేనా. So later after that we need to update the pin box here, postal number, and then this one. After that, telephone number, mobile number, these are all things we need to fill. So for example, I was giving some number here. Okay. And fax, email ID, these all things should be mentioned in a well doing of in a real time. So here it's not a mandatory. So once if you fill up this all these details here, so now you can see that we have some green tick mark here, right? The green tick mark కనిపిస్తుందా? Just click over there, or otherwise you can click on enter. మీ ల్యాప్టాప్ లో enter click చేసినా చాలు. And then this is the save option. This is the save option. మళ్ళీ ఓపెన్ అవుతుంది. So if you want to just edit any number or anything else, ఏదైనా రాంగ్ ఇచ్చామనుకుంటే చెక్ చేసుకుని erase చేసుకోవచ్చు. Again click on enter. And this is the request, that is server ask you to click on enter. ఇది మనకి ఏంటంటే సర్వర్కి ఇది అప్డేట్ చేస్తుంది, సేవ్ చేయమని డేటా. ఓకే, సో సింప్లీ క్లిక్ ఆన్ దిస్ గ్రీన్ టిక్. That's it. So is the data was saved? Here in the left side of my screen you can see that in down left side ikkadandi.
Yeah, yes.
Data was saved. So just go, this is a back option, just go one step back. ఇందాక స్క్రీన్ ఇందాక లిస్ట్ ఆఫ్ ప్లాంట్స్ లో మన గురించి చూడండి, change view plants. This is my plant, whatever I have updated now, right? So this is where we can do any topic in a SAP. So we have a navigation and T code. Okay.
Okay.
So I hope you understand the demo. Is there any doubts till now? Apart from this,
Nothing.
nobody? Sirisha, Suvarchala. ఇంకేదైనా డౌట్స్
Yeah.
from this
Yeah.
training?
What kind of opportunity?
Yes, చెప్పండి. What
Okay.
kind of?
What kind of opportunities will be there in future for the SAP MM?
Actually, in a market, as you can see that we have a huge openings on MM, and at the same time, if the present